Jeanne. Welcome to Council Close-Ups. On this program, we introduce you to the people behind the planning, the transit, wastewater treatment, and other essential services that the Metropolitan Council provides to the region. Today, we're talking with Raya Esmaeili.
Hi,
Raya. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So here we are in across from downtown Minneapolis on the bridge. Why did you choose this place to have our conversation?
This is my favorite view in the region, and it has a significance to me, that's why. It's the best view of my home. And I really like the Stone Arch Bridge, and I try to bike over the bridge every time I'm biking around in this area.
Do you do a lot of biking, Raya?
I would like to do that, but I haven't been able to put a lot of miles on my bike recently.
And why is that?
It's been very hot this summer.
You're a planner in our local planning assistance unit. What's the role of that unit at the council?
The main role of the local planning assistance unit is to help the local planners within the communities in the region. And that varies from technical assistance to support and providing resources to the planners. Specifically, what we do in community development is land use planning. And that has a lot to do with policy, development patterns, how will the growth happen in your community, how will the people get engaged as residents of that area.
Talk a little bit about what the council's actual role and authority is vis-a-vis planning as opposed to the perception that some people have.
Sure. Many have the perception that McCouncil has an overreaching authority over the local planning processes. But that is not true. We actually have a very defined role in terms of regional planning, and then the rest is left for local planners to decide as they see fit within their community. We provide resources and support to local planners so that they can do a better job within their community, and they have access to all they need to be creative and to be forward-thinking.
How did you know you wanted to be a planner?
I didn't at first. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a mechanical engineer, only because my dad was one, and I was so exposed to that field. I grew up in Iran, so the way that higher education works in Iran is that you take an exam, and then based on your score, you kind of get put into certain degrees and universities. Mm-hmm. At that point, I realized that there's this major called planning. Actually, it was called city making, and I had no idea what it was, so I had to start kind of exploring and talking with people.
And what was it like coming to the United States? When did you do that, and what was that like for you?
Yeah, that was in 2009, August of 2009, so almost exactly 7 years ago. I started school within about 2 weeks after I arrived. That was a lot of pressure and a lot of work to both fit into the culture and also fit into school. If I were to do it again, I would probably give myself at least a few months to first adjust to living in a new place, and then adjust to speaking another language, and then go to school.
What do you miss about Iranian culture?
The food. I don't cook much. I was gonna say I don't cook Iranian food, but I really don't cook much in general. I don't like cooking. You know, they tell you to put a pinch of salt, and I'm like, what's a pinch? I don't know what a pinch is. I like baking because it follows measurements, and I really like following instructions. Probably has something to do with me liking to do like quantitative analyses and things like that.
What was the most shocking thing to you moving to the U.S. in terms of the culture?
I was really shocked how similar some things were in Minnesota to Iran. That whole passive-aggressive Minnesota nice is something that is very prominent in Iranian culture. For example, we were walking together and we come across, we get to my building that I'm going in. I will invite you in, but I really want you to say no. So if you say yes, I would be like, what? Okay. So my parents never like the way that I acted with our guests, because every time I would go around and I say, would you like some? And then they'll say no, and I'm like, okay. And then I'll walk away, and then my parents will be like, go back. Like, what? They said they don't want to eat anything.
What are some other things that you enjoy doing outside of work?
So I volunteer with the Minnesota Orchestra, and it's a volunteer usher position, kind of get to greet people and help out the staff there, and then get to see the performance, and it's one of my favorite things. I've also gotten into playing some games that I had never before. For example, broomball. That's my favorite winter activity. It took me a couple of years to feel like I can actually do something besides being a burden to my teammates, but they tolerated me.
Raya, thank you so much for the time this morning. It's been fun getting to know you a little bit better and sitting here in Minneapolis on a beautiful morning.
Yeah, thank you.
If you'd like to know more about Raya's work and the work of the Metropolitan Council, visit our website at metrocouncil.org.